What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Food Fitness Family Podcast. It is me, Big Daddy Blankenship. It's early. I still got my breathe right on. I haven't even had a sip of coffee yet.
Do. I thought you were going after an old Neil Smith look.
Nah, bro, it helps me sleep.
There you go.
I got the little man, Mr. GQ, Marcus on Gates on here, looking fly today. How you doing, bud?
I don't have any pants on right now.
You don't have any pants on? I have my golden
I do.
Pants on.
That's awesome. No, our basement's too cold. I gotta have pants on. Morning, dude. Morning. I'm sleepy as well. Sun's not even up.
I'll be excited when you quit teaching, so we don't have to do this at 6 a.m.
Yep, that'll be nice. That'll be nice. Do make like a little mid-afternoon thing. We're fully alive and awake.
Well, this week we're going to talk about rest days. How many rest days should you take? Do you need rest days? Are you not resting enough? All that good shit. So without further ado, Marcus, how was your last 7 days?
Last 7 days, man, were solid. Family was in town from Indiana over the weekend, so got to see them, which is always
We're
good.
in Indiana. I feel like you've told me this before.
I think it's like 30 or 45 minutes away from Terre Haute.
Okay. You're an awful family member. You don't even know that.
I haven't been out there. I do plan on going out there this summer, though. I'm gonna take boss out there. They have a lot of land and stuff. It's a small town. I don't want to go out there. I'm not a small town person, but I'm gonna take
small towns are the shit.
I'm gonna take I liked it in college, that's about it. But I'm gonna take boss out there. I'm sure Nicole will come with me, but if not, me and boss go out there and enjoy it. But no, yes, they were in town, so that was good to see them. We got to see all the family and stuff. And then client wise, it's been awesome. All my current clients seem like they're thriving for the most part. So I'm loving check-in days right now.
Thriving lives, baby.
Fucking thriving. And then I signed up like 5 or 6 people over this past week, which has been nice. A lot of paid in fulls, which I love and hate at the same time, but it's good to have them.
Yeah.
How about you, man?
We had like opposite weeks where your first part of March was like 1 or 2 here and there, and I signed up like 8, and then now you got like
flip-flopped
numbers. Yeah, man, mine's been good. God, it's been so crazy. Just getting shit done at the gym. Paint got finished this week, or at least the ceiling. Huh?
I said it's looking awesome. Keep recording those videos.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It helps like bring teasers. We released our opening date for the new gym. I think I signed up 2 clients, and then I have a consult today. And then I have like 5 or 6 people in the pipeline that all want to start towards the end of the month. So I actually stopped posting because I signed up so many people.
I need a breather.
It was like overwhelming for a second. I needed to like catch up because I got behind.
Yeah.
Which is a great problem to have, but it was still like I was able to notice it. I'm starting some new habits this week. I've done 20 minutes of fasted cardio every day this week, except for today because I woke up to do this, but I'll do it after this. And honestly, man, I feel really good. I feel like it's been better for my blood pressure. It's been better for my sleep, my breathing, everything, just because it's just the movement. I feel like my skin tone has changed a little bit. Not that like I eat horrible, so like my blood pressure's high, but I have a good amount of stress right now. I was trying to get the new gym open. You know what I mean? It's just over budget. You know what I mean? How that shit goes. So I like that. And then we actually started reading last night. I don't know if I'll read every day, but we're requiring our management team now we're going over a chapter between every manager meeting. So we're starting with extreme ownership. And I just hate reading, man. I really hate it. I've probably read
awful. It's the worst thing.
I've probably read less than 10 books my entire life.
Oh yeah. Like, I never middle school, high school, elementary school, I never finished a book. I'd spark noted that shit or just
spark noted it. I did book reports on movies. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just don't like it. But I actually was able to sit down last night and I read like 15 pages, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but for me, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
So I'll count that as a small win.
You feel good afterwards too.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it. It was a good one. I think it's just, I think right now where I'm at in life, like I still love bodybuilding, but my passion has kind of shifted to business.
Yeah.
And this is more business centric. So I think it's really starting to come on.
Yeah.
I was in meetings all day yesterday, but had a really good productive day, man.
Yeah.
So things are pretty good.
Well, good for you on the reading habit. I've tried to pick it up multiple times, and every time I like start reading, like, and I get like a page into it, I'm happy I did it. It's just like, trying to convince people to go to the gym, or trying to convince people to go on a walk. The hardest part is making the choice to do it. But once you do it, you're happy you did it.
Yeah, Tatiana, like she
I
reads
can't
like
sit still.
3 books at a time.
That's awesome.
Like I can't even remember what I read yesterday. How are you reading 3 different ones?
Yeah, retention's sometimes difficult, but ultimately it's just like when I'm there, as soon as I sit down to start reading, I'm just active. I want to do something. Like I want to move around. I can't just sit there and read that fucking book. It's difficult. It's a struggle. It's a struggle.
I get it.
Audiobooks are key. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive on into the topic, rest days. Well, first off,
I think rest days are important. You think rest days are important.
Boom.
I'll see you next week.
Have you ever all right, so let's go back to like our earlier training days. So because I know that as soon as I started training in like middle high school, rest days were bullshit. I was like, I'm never taking a rest day.
Yeah.
If I miss a day in the gym, if I miss a workout, I'm getting smaller, because obviously, we talked about our reasons why this is important for us, and why we started this shit. And mine was always to, I didn't want to be smaller. And I was like, if I miss a day in the gym, I'm not getting bigger, I'm not getting stronger, and I'm probably going to be getting smaller. So I was like, I'm never missing a session. I'd be lifting at school, and then I'd go after school to the gym to lift more. And plus your body can recover a decent amount at that age, at least nothing noticeable.
For sure.
Nothing noticeable.
Yeah. Yeah. I think when I was in high school, I had weights 5 days a week, and we did Monday, Wednesday, Friday was bench, and Tuesday, Thursday was power cleans and front squats.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So you could just continue to hammer. And that was also while playing like baseball and basketball and shit. So like you're always like, you're just stressing this shit. I'm like, if I try to do that now, I would be broken midway through the week.
For sure. Yeah.
Let alone if I use that months on end. But I remember, and then it was also like a badge of honor, because then at one time I could probably say, in the first 5 years of training, I literally might have had like 2 collective weeks off of the gym, like with missing. And that would have been like if I was sick or injured. Outside of that, it was like, and also it was my favorite part of the day, and it still is my favorite part of the day, but now it's a lot more balanced. But I think that was, I always wonder how much of that stunted what I could have done. Like if I would have actually given myself proper rest days, would I have put on 10 more pounds of muscle over the course of those years, when I was in there every single day, just beat my body down.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Not so much. Let's see. Like I basically, when I got out of high school, I basically started training 6 days right away.
Yeah.
No matter what. The guy I worked out with for a little bit, he was being trained by Lane Norton. So we would have like 3 powerlifting days and then 3 like hypertrophy days. So every week it was like we were working up to like a 2 rep on a bench or a squat or a deadlift. And then later in the week, it was hypertrophy. And then as we move, and then that was so bad, because that was just like, I didn't understand training. So that was just like moving the weight at all expense, like even with ugly form. Because he never really bothered to fix it either. Yeah. So I just kept going. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that's why I know this sounds dumb, but I have really good rear delts, like in my back shots. Yeah. And I think it's because forever when we would do the hammer low row, I was doing it wrong and he never showed me. So I would do like
smashing your rear delts.
Bro, I was doing like 4 or 5 plates aside, and I felt nothing but my rear delt smoking. Yeah. And then once I got older, I got into mountain dog training. And for those of you who don't know John Meadows, he's the guy on our wall in the gym. He is like, I think he could almost be considered like one of the founding fathers of training today. Very intelligent, always like pushed the boundaries, thought outside the box, always did very, I guess, different things. But he wasn't afraid to experiment. And so I did his programs. I probably have like 15, 20 programs of his. And they were always 3 base days. So you would have like chest, shoulders, back, legs, and then of course arms. And then you would have 2 pump days. So you would have like a chest shoulder pump or a leg pump, or you could choose what you wanted.
Oh.
So there were times where I would train 7 days a week.
Yeah.
I remember oh, dude, you're gonna love this. I remember I started prep when Max was 6 months old. Okay. He was still waking up 2 hours a night. I was working like, that was back at World. So you knew like I was there all day.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I would literally be there from like 6 a.m. to noon, and then like 4 to 8 p.m. like client to
That
client.
is a fucking day.
And then I got up to like 2 hours of cardio, and then I was training 7 days a week, and I was sleeping like 3 hours a night.
Oh my God.
And I ended up getting in decent shape. I don't know how I did it, because if I did that today, I would die.
How old were you at the time then?
28.
Fuck. I can't. It's a year ago for me. If I would have did that a year ago, I would have cried every day.
I don't know how I made it, man. But yeah, I was like, I was doing 7 days a week training for 12 straight weeks, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna fucking crush it. But it was like the pump days were like active rest days. So it was all sub maximal weight, maybe like an RPE of like 8. You're just getting a pump. But my dumb ass like just went after it.
Smash
you know what I mean? Oh yeah. And I'd be exhausted, and I'd be like, I gotta train.
Yeah. Which
then,
I mean, the discipline to do that, and the dedication to it is awesome. And any of like my clients that come to me and they're like, hey, I've been working out 7 days a week, and I'm like, I love the discipline. Like, that's fantastic. It's going to be hard to back off of that, because I'm going to ask you to back off of that. But yeah, it takes so much. I feel like, so that also, me doing that for years and years and years, I'm sure you do that as well. It's hard sometimes to give people empathy as to why they can't get to the gym just 2 or 3 times. Why can't you just eat your meals like you're supposed to, when you, like, for instance, you did that and you were working 10-hour days plus training, plus raising a kid, plus getting all your meals in. Like, you're if you could get everything done with that, the average person should be able to get a lot of their shit done.
Let's loosely. I followed my meals. I was barely able to sleep. I was probably honestly working like 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
And I mean, that prep actually almost like made me and Tatiana split, because I wasn't raising my kid, because I was so concerned with work in the gym that I wasn't doing anything. And then I was still leaving the gym on the weekend. So like, I was literally never home.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I would get home and I would take a nap with Max, wake up, go back to the gym. And then I'd be at the gym like 9:30 doing cardio. And then I come home, pass out, wake up at 5, get ready for work. And then Saturdays I was there at 7 and I trained till noon. And then I'd work out till 2 and then get my cardio done and get home at like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And then
that's tough. That's tough.
You know what I mean?
All around.
Like,
and that's like you said, I mean, that's equally tough on the family to kind of go through that. But I mean, you live and you learn. I'm sure you learned a shit ton during that prep about your life, your relationship, obviously, finding better balance in life.
I had to completely reshift my life, or else I wasn't going to have a relationship.
No, yeah, exactly. Which is definitely crucial. But yeah, so kind of point being though, is that for a big chunk of our training career it was always go and never kind of backing off of it. And actually a couple of years ago, I went with Marcus Seidel as a new coach, and the basis of why I chose to go with him is because on social media he would post about rest days, and I was like, I cannot make myself take a rest day. I literally need to pay a coach to say, you're only working out 3 times a week, or you're only working out 4 times a week. Because I was like, if I'm handing money over for somebody to tell me that, I'm going to follow whatever they're telling me to do. Yep. And honestly, it was one of the best things ever. I remember the year before that, which was really eye-opening. I took a whole month off because my shoulder had hurt for fucking a year straight. And I was like, I've done everything at this point. I'm just going to take a month off and just see how that does. And plus, I think it'll be a good challenge for my mind. And when I did that, my progress pictures each week, I controlled diet better than probably any other time, because I was like, I'm not training, so I have to nail this. And
it got better.
I was pleasantly surprised that I looked the same, if not probably less inflammation. I mean, definitely less inflammation by the end of that 4 weeks. So my weight stayed right around the same. Maybe I lost a little bit, but I didn't lose any muscle mass. I lost strength, obviously, but as soon as I'm back in the gym consistently, that all came back. So that was really eye-opening. But then hiring him for my next comp prep was awesome, because I only worked out 3 days a week intensely. One day was like just a feeler day, like, pump day more than anything. So that was 3 true rest days, which, I mean, my body never felt better during a prep. I never looked better during a prep. And I was like, fuck, I just need to continue this, into my off season and find better balance. And it also allowed me more time to get back to my clients, to do client work, to do family stuff. I didn't always have to say no to social shit because now I had time. I had 3 days, which was helpful.
Yeah, I think a lot of prep is stress and stress control.
Yeah.
And a lot of my clients now, I put some on 5. Now, a lot of my girls, I'll tend to put on 5 days, especially because like 3 of those are going to be leg days.
Yeah.
Now, but it's all controlled. Like one is probably going to be a total leg, more glute, and like hamstring. With some, I mean, more quad and hamstring with some glute, and then you'll have a main glute day, and then we'll have another day that's like a touch-up day, like a pump. You know what I mean? And when I say a third leg day, it's like, oh, you're going to train back, and then the end of back, you're going to do a set of hamstrings, and you're going to do like 4 sets of 20 kickbacks, and just fucking get a ridiculous pump, but not to failure. You know what I mean? Like just touch up. I think a lot of times people train too many days. The factor that I always say is like, oh, how many days you train this week? 6. I'm like, oh, I bet you feel like shit right now. You're exhausted, right? Yeah. That's literally your body telling you to go home.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's if you're waking up and you're not motivated to train, I think that's a sign that like you need to take the day off.
Yep.
I'm not saying that to use it as an excuse. Oh, I'm tired. I'm not going to train today. But it's like
that's for the person who's like overtraining for training all the time.
The person who's overtrained.
You've got to know that if you're just not working out and you just don't want to go there that day, well, you don't have the habit of going yet, and you're probably not going to be motivated most days, and you need to get your ass there. But yeah, I get
and I think a lot of people do a disservice to themselves, so they're not progressing as well as they can.
Yep.
Because they're not resting enough. And I like 2 to 3 rest days because I want people to wake up and be excited to go train.
Same, yeah.
They're going to crush numbers. And then personally, I can't train more than like 3 days in a row because I go at it enough that like I'm just.
I was gonna say intensity, how hard you're actually training also makes a factor in this, which we'll talk about in a second as well.
Yep, I'm just beat up, and now where I'm at in my life, it's like I really only probably train like 3 days a week, maybe 4 if my schedule allows it.
Yeah.
So I think that's another thing we have to take into account is like, are you forcing it into your schedule or are you letting things be? Now, if we're prepping, okay, we probably will have to force some things. Yeah. But like if we're just a normal person and you're a mom and you have 3 kids and you work a full-time job, if you can do an upper day and a lower day, perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe an upper, lower, and then another glute day, even better. Or maybe we'll do an outside the box program and every other day is upper, lower.
Yep.
We just have to find ways that you're able to do it because not everyone's schedule is the same. You know what I'm saying? Like I have people right now. I have one girl that I train that I know back home in Indiana, and like she works out at home. Her schedule's crazy. So I just gave her an upper and lower days. I'm like, hey, just rotate these and work out as you can. You know what I mean? And that's what works. But if I was a dick and I'm like, no, you gotta go to the gym 6 days a week, like it's not gonna do anything.
No. Well, and she's likely not gonna adhere to it. And if she does adhere to it, she's cutting other things out of her life and causing her stress to go way up in all these other ways. Because it also comes down to, what is your goal, obviously, and how trained are you really trying to get to? Are you just doing this more for longevity and just to enhance your years as you go? Because if that's the case, no, you don't need to go in there and go absolutely crazy on the weights.
Well, and a lot of times not taking rest days is the number one cause for gut dysfunction and hormone dysfunction and things like that. Because you have these type A people, and typically it's women.
Yep.
And they're just fucking destroying themselves, hit after hit after hit, cardio after cardio after cardio, low calories.
Yeah.
And they're just drive themselves into the ground.
Well, and those same people generally, they're still going to end up having a job. They're still going to end up having a social life, or kids or whatever the case is. So that given how many hours in the day, there's only cutting from one place, and that's from their sleep. So they're doing all that stressful shit. And now the only way they can get all that stuff in a given day is by waking up at 4 a.m. and only getting 5 hours of sleep, or doing it late at night and then only getting 5 hours of sleep. So now they're doing that as well, which only compounds that cortisol rise, only compounds all of their they have.
Dude,
hormones,
it's everything. Like
everything else.
I have a gut client right now who she left and she's about to come back, but we stay in contact. And I remember when we were first working together, she came in and she just needed like some help to go over things. So I was like, yeah, come on in.
Yeah.
And we were talking in my office and I was like, I need you to chill out, like chill the fuck out. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, take a breath for me.
Yeah.
Because
just go.
She was so stressed out just telling me about her life and her day.
Yeah.
That like she was going to cause her stomach issues to flare up because that's how bad they were.
Yeah.
And then I was like, do you see what I'm talking about here? She's like, what? And I'm like, you're so stressed out just talking that like you're hurting yourself. But you want to train 5-6 days a week. I'm like, we can't do this. Like, we need you to be able to relax and calm down first.
Yep.
Like, because you're so wound up that you're just stressing yourself out more when we go to the gym.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And honestly, stress and living in that kind of a state, or not sleeping and stuff is a big contributor to like IBS and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's always, my biggest goal as well. Whenever I have a client that comes to me with that stuff is, hey, once we can get these things under control and you can stop having those terrible symptoms when it comes to, loose stools and, you got to immediately find a bathroom when you got to find a bathroom and that type of stuff. It's great to kind of be able to pull you off that. But yeah, so kind of come back to the rest days though. I think intensity definitely matters and how hard you're training, where you're at in life and things like that. Because if you're going into the gym and you're just getting pumps and you just want to be in the gym and stuff like that, then you could be in there a little bit more frequently. But if you're going in there and smashing it, like you said, when you go to the gym, you're not leaving anything on the table. You're going balls to the wall most times on your training sessions, especially if you're in comp prep and stuff like that. So you have to take that time off. But yeah, same.
You know what's crazy is that I think my best look ever, and it's actually to this day, it's my favorite I ever looked.
Yeah.
It was those pictures that hang on the wall by my office.
Yeah.
I did a new mountain dog program and it was high volume. And I trained, it was like, you would have like blocks where like you did legs 3 days a week, and then you did chest and back 3 days a week, and then you did this 3 days a week. And like every exercise, every day was like 45 sets. Like,
oh shit, yeah,
insane. But everything was like RPE 7.
Yeah.
So you never, maybe like one exercise, one set you took to like
actual failure.
Like, oh no, like almost failure.
Oh,
like
okay.
Not like you still had like a rep in the tank. Everything else you left some reps.
Yeah.
And like I fucking hated it because I felt like I was like training like a pussy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is when I still emailed John back and forth a lot. And he was like, no, you're looking great. Stay on this. And I wasn't working with John nutrition wise, but like I had bought so many programs from him that I was allowed to like email him anytime like I had questions or anything like that. And he was like super chill and would always respond back to me. And he was like, oh, you look fucking awesome, blah, blah, blah. And I did, dude. I looked insane. And I remember that prep to this day was the easiest prep I have ever had. I'm talking like I didn't go over 90 minutes of cardio. I still was eating like 20 carbs pre and post, like even up to peak week. It didn't even feel hard until 4 weeks out. Like at 4 weeks out, I was like, oh, I'm kind of tired.
Yeah.
And I was like the most peeled I'd ever been.
You think a big component of that was keeping stress down low and
I think so.
Stress down low from training.
Yeah. And I think so. And I didn't take I only took one rest day a week.
Yeah.
But I was not training to failure. So I was in there and I was stimulating the muscle every week.
Yeah.
And hard enough to like keep it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was never going to failure. And I was like, I was never hurting. I was never sore. I was never really tired. And that was during a time where like I was bartending and bouncing in Lawrence. So like I had 3 days off, but 4 days a week I was working from like 4 p.m. to like 2 a.m. You know what I mean? It was like, it worked.
So kind of case in point then is if you're training lower intensity and you're not going to failure, you're not doing all these crazy hard like drop sets and like
you can have more days.
You can spend more days in the gym because your body's recovered because you didn't just beat it the fuck down as hard as you could. But if you're going in the gym and you are truly training that intensely, like some people it's like, hey, this training program is pretty easy. I'm like, well, then your execution is not on point.
Literally, you're not training hard enough.
I could go in there and pick and do 3 sets of 10 of something and make it fucking crazy hard. But you gotta have execution with it. You gotta have your mind with it. And you gotta have the right weight with it. And if you did 10 reps, but you could have did 12 or 13, then you didn't train as intensely as you needed to, if that's what we're doing.
You know what I find the most is that whenever I put someone through a workout, like one of my athletes, and typically they're newer, kind of like your people are newer.
Yeah.
We'll be doing a set and they're like, another one. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, this is like my 6th set. And I was like, no, this is your second set.
Yeah.
No, we've done 6. And I was like, the first 4 were way too easy and didn't count.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't actually count until you're actually putting time to put some effort into it.
Exactly.
A lot of people, they like, chest press 4 sets of 10. Set 1 is 30 pounds. Set 2 is 30 pounds. And then it's not hard until the last set at 50 pounds. And it's like, it's almost hard, but that's the 4 sets.
Exactly. And they're like, oh, fuck, thank God I'm done with this. It started to get hard. It's like, no, all 4 sets should have been like that, or all 3 sets, or whatever that looks like. Yeah, no, that's very true. That's why I love getting to train my clients in person whenever I get the opportunity to, because I'm like, it just makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I've trained a couple of my athletes lately, like once a week, and I'm like, I really enjoy it. I think I want to start like marking off like an hour and just like potentially picking random people to come in and like just do a free session just because I enjoy it.
Well, yeah. But honestly, even just, especially for somebody who knows what they're doing to an extent, if you can kind of tap into them, like mentally, like this is what your workout should be feeling like, then you can go take that and apply it to the other training days and things like that.
For sure.
But you really don't know it until you really know it. Like until you actually kind of go through it, you don't really know what that is. Even just having you at the gym there sometimes. You know what I mean? Like whenever I'm working out, because sometimes I am just kind of taking it easier. But
sometimes I literally walk over you and I grab your elbow mid-set and you're like, oh, wow, that's way better.
Yeah, exactly. So no matter who you are, it always helps to have, that hands-on approach with it. But anyway, though, I think we talked about rest pretty well.
Yeah, sometimes we just fucking get up on tangents to start talking. People don't even know that we talk for like 45 minutes before we even start these things.
Yeah, if we just recorded the whole thing, because you guys got to understand, this is partly a damn therapy session for us. Talking about clients, talking about whatever stresses we got going on as well. So this is a nice calming kind of break and being present with things, which I feel like
we get to bro out.
I feel like a lot of people struggle with being present. I know I do at different times as well sometimes.
Dude, I think they really do,
moment, which is nice.
And I think everyone's a little different, and we'll go off on this tangent here. I am awful at taking pictures. I never take pictures. Like sometimes when someone's like, oh, let me see your son, I have to like scroll.
Oh, like,
scroll to find a picture.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel like a really bad dad. And Tatiana, like, dude, 1,000 pictures, but she's a picture taker. She loves it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love that she does that because I don't.
Yeah.
Because like I'm that person at the concert that everyone's on their phone recording, and I'm just like in it.
I want to enjoy this. Yeah.
I don't want to watch a recording of this. Like it'll sound like shit. I want to enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Shaky. Like, are you really gonna go back and rewatch this concert later?
Yeah. And it's just taking up time on my phone. And it's like I just want to live in the moment. So like when me and Max are doing something, like I just want to be in the moment. I want to take a picture. And Tatiana still is in the moment and she still gets the picture, but I would rather just be there and have the memory versus like the picture.
I agree. I try to remind myself that a lot of times as well, just in various aspects of life. I am thankful though for the people that record some of the concerts, because whenever I'm working, like if I've got even an hour to work, I'll go put on a concert on YouTube, like a live recording of whoever I want to listen to, and just so it's a good background vibe. I love concerts.
Like when you send me your update pictures, I like to just look at them and be in the moment.
Exactly. I know.
Just do what feels natural.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
God damn it. Well, cool, man. I don't think there's anything else to talk about.
No, that's it. Are you going to the gym today?
I got to try. No, I got a client at 1:00, and then that's it.
You not have school today?
Nah, bro. Last day of spring break.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Dude, you know Max was on spring break. He got out Friday and then the entire week and was off Monday.
Oh, and had that next Monday off?
Dude, 10 fucking days.
That's awesome. I wish I had Monday off.
Remember when I was like, remember before this? I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
I love
No.
being a dad,
Oh yeah.
but half the time I want to punch Max in his
Well, yeah,
face.
but like you said last
10
time,
days, I want to punch him in his face.
you said you guys lost Wi-Fi because of the construction.
I
that
forgot.
made it
We didn't have
miserable.
Wi-Fi for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
And
when he was
and,
on
like,
spring break, a
yeah,
4-year
he didn't
or
have Wi-Fi
5-year-old.
entire spring break,
That's crazy.
which is good because sometimes I think we rely on cartoons too much.
Yeah.
And even now we're more used to it. So like we'll turn the TV off and be like, oh, the TV's tired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It needs a break. And he'll play with his toys a little more. So it is good for him. But yeah, it was brutal, man.
A whole week of that though. Yeah. It'd be nice to have that access to it. But all right, man. Anyway, enjoy your Friday. Everybody else, enjoy your Monday.
I'll see you this afternoon, man.
Take more rest days if you're not already. If you have any questions on when to take those rest days, let Caleb and I know.
Yeah, let us know.
All right, brother.
If you send me a DM for coaching and you want to ask about something and you tell me that Marcus is a little bitch in it, I'll probably give you a discount.
Oh my God.
No, I'm just kidding. But you can still tell me that.
No, do it. No, do it. No, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. That's your discount code to use on the Caleb services.
Yeah. Yes,
right,
my discount code. Marcus is a bitch.
I'm ending it.
Love you, brah. I'll see you later.
All right.